Hi, I'm Viktor Balogh. I'm the co-founder of the Psyclean Crew and director of the Psyclean Foundation. And I'm here now on the Future of Festivals Expo to tell you something about the art of caring. First of all, I would really like to thank Robert Scholt and his amazing team from Fuchs and Hirsch for setting up Future of Festivals. I think it's a great idea to make an expo like this, and I'm very grateful to be here as a speaker. And I would like to tell you a little bit about us, about our project, and about how we have come to be one of the most sought after waste management projects for festivals, mid and small size. So we started in 2012 together with my girlfriend back then. Her name is Alexandra Murani, short Ola. Because we like Psytrance festivals. So I come from the Psytrance festival scene, and since 2005 it was a favorite thing to do, to go to a Psytrance festival, to be outside, to rave with fairies and elves and sorcerers, and it was this magnificent place to spend some good time together. And yeah, I did this every year, all the way until 2011, when this whole bubble bursted. And it bursted because it was a shift in the scene, and I think it was a general shift in the festival scene as well, when the new generation entered the scene, which is a good thing, which is perfectly fine. You know, people get older, young people take their place, that should be perfectly fine. And yet it wasn't. It wasn't because the paradigm changed, what a festival was, and why people went to a festival, and how people went to festivals. You know, back in the day, we were super proud of hauling all our gear and all our backpacks and tents all the way to the festival, and then leave it nice, and then leave again, and haul our stuff back at home. Well, since 2010, 2011, we saw this change where people, instead of being proud of hauling all their stuff into the festival area and away, they were gloating with their VIP packages. I mean, you can have a helicopter which will drop you in the best camping space ever, and then you just leave everything behind in the end, and that's cool now. Well, it's not. It's really not, and we really didn't find it cool at all. So between 2011 and 2012, we didn't even go to festivals anymore, because the amount of garbage and trash on the ground, on the dance floor, on the camping, it just didn't resonate with the vibe of the festivals that we were used to. So we decided to go to India, of all places, and to spend some time there, an extended time actually, of 6 months, and to travel the continent. And already when the plane took off, we opened this little laptop that we had with us and decided to do something about it, to join the community of festivals in a way that we could help this problem. We didn't know how, but we had 6 months to find out. So slowly we started to develop this idea of the Psyclean Crew. I mean, Ola was really good with organizing and Excel. I'm a formidable people person, so these baselines were pretty quickly established. I mean, we had the name, we had the color, we had the obligatory Facebook page and Gmail addresses. So yeah, we drafted our basic mission objectives, and we're good to go actually. So already from India, we sent a few emails, and I mean, you must understand, we have nothing, okay? No credentials, no references, zero experience. It's two people telling your festival that we are going to take care of the whole waste management effort. Not an easy task, to be honest, but wonder oh wow, our first season, 2013, we already had 5 festivals that would book us, even without the credentials. And an interesting thing was, the first of these was a Swiss festival. It's a €1 million enterprise, okay? Like 5,000 people, the strongest lineup of the season, and all of a sudden there are these crazy orange people with naily sticks in their hands to pick up cigarette butts who said, okay, hey, we're gonna do this, proper. And one of our mission objectives was from the start, no garbage on the ground, ever. We really truly believed in that. We had volunteers, actually a fair amount of volunteers on our first mission. And so we set out to just make it happen. And it wasn't really hard in the first 5 minutes because the dance floor was fairly clean. So we picked up a few cups and it was nice. And as the festival progressed, we just understood what actually will happen in the next 72 hours. We ran. We physically ran, only running. for 72 hours straight to pick up all the plastic cups and all the cigarette butts and all the empty cigarette packaging. And oh my God, I had no idea how much garbage there can be if you're really looking for it. So after running 25 kilometers per day, and the festival was over, and we thought, hey, this couldn't get any worse. Monday morning came. And well, if I would sit in front of an audience now, then you would start rolling your eyes, because some of you know already what I'm going to say. Yeah, the camping. So it's a funny story, because on Monday morning I went to the organizer and I asked him during breakfast when the people are going to be leaving, because we would like to clean up. And he said, yeah, well, they kind of left already. So I rephrased my question. Obviously, he didn't understand. When will the visitors be leaving so we can start to clean up the camping? And he said, no, dude, I told you they are already gone. So I ran up a small hill and I looked down on the camping, and it was a ghost town. Every single tent was still there. It was still standing, and the people were gone. It was a horrible, horrible moment to see wastefulness on such an incomprehensible magnitude. Yeah, okay, sure, we cleaned it up. We cleaned it up proper, and we cleaned up the next one, and we cleaned up the next one, and so on. And not all of them were this catastrophic, okay? Like, some were better, but they only had 300 people. And there was others that actually made us cry. Some were crying in their tents, others were crying in their hammocks. I was crying in my camper van. It was not good. And then, in the third year of our missions, we went to Holland. It was the first mission in Netherlands, where we stayed for 8 consecutive days, only to regain control of the campsite. 8 days. We moved 80 tons of garbage with bare hands in the pissing rain. And that was also the reason why we had to do this. You know, I mean, it's a very simple equation. Is the tent wet on Monday? It stays behind. Period. Sorry. That's how it is. So I'll be honest, that was the point after 3 years when this project came to the realization that maybe we should stop. I mean, this is really not what we wanted to do. I mean, we wanted to tell people how it would be nice and beautiful to party in a clean environment. I mean, we set up a very well-working, super well-maintained infrastructure all the time, so it was really just 2 steps to the bin. And it didn't work. It didn't work at all. And I mean, we really did everything we could. So we said, like, yeah, hey, maybe it's not us who should really do this, because obviously we're doing it wrong, because it's not working. Hey, we would have needed machines and trailers and helicopters to actually deal with that amount of garbage. We don't do anything better than it was done before. And we were sitting there contemplating and crying and kind of being sad. And then one of our volunteers, actually, he looked up and just asked the question. Yeah, but dude, maybe they don't know any better. And that was the turning point, really. And that sentence brings me here today, actually, because that sentence changed everything. Because maybe they really don't. Maybe people don't know better because maybe nobody told them how to. Maybe nobody told them why to. Nobody told them the methods of how to take care of themselves, how to take care of their own investment. I mean, if you pay for a festival ticket, it's an investment into your holidays. And you don't pay for a one-day event, you pay for a week-long event. So if you, excuse my language, but if you fuck it up on the first day, then your investment is going down the drain, because now you pay 200 euros for a one-day thing, and then you spend 4 more days on the garbage dump. It's sad, really. And it's really sad for the people who invested in their holidays, flew from Japan all the way to Holland to have a good experience, and then they didn't. And it's their own fault, actually, because they are making the trash. I don't put any trash anywhere. My colleagues don't put any trash anywhere. It's the people who do it, and it's the people who are miserable in it. Ah, okay. So 2016, we had 2 festivals, okay? And there was really not time for more, because we had to establish a new baseline. We had to rethink the whole approach of how do we want to do this. Because until now, we were just putting really good infrastructure. We had a very good shift system on how to have always somebody cleaning up, but that was basically it. We were a happy bunch of people running around in orange, but we were only working. And that's really not enough. We have to involve the people somehow. We have to tell them why we are doing this, and we have to tell them how they can do it themselves. Because if you have, Let's take the festival in the Netherlands. It's 15,000 people, and we have 50 volunteers. You cannot solve a problem of 15,000 with 50 people. We have to involve the 15,000 people somehow to make this happen. So in 2017, we came out again. We had like 8 festivals that season, but now the approach was different. We didn't try to solve it by hand anymore. We tried to solve it with our heads, and we tried to solve it with our hearts. Yes, hard work was still a part of it. We were still 20 hours a day on the run, infrastructure still maintained to perfection, but now it was the emphasis of actually talking to everybody. Our goal was to create this critical mass of festival visitors who are just not okay anymore with garbage on the ground, okay? It's a little bit like the toilet thing, you know? Like, this is also something that we brought from India, that, let's say, in Germany, you are not allowed to pee on the street, okay? You just don't do that anymore. And if you just, start to pee on the main square on Alexanderplatz, police is gonna come, people are going to come to you and tell you, hey, dude, this is not okay. Because more people than not agree that we don't do this. So this is a critical mass. And we would have to find a way to create this critical mass within festival visitors, where more people than not say, garbage does not belong on the ground. The cigarette butt belongs into the pocket ashtray. We don't litter where we dance. The dance floor should not have garbage on it. Please do the 2 steps to the bin. Not only us telling them, but them telling each other. So from now on, it was all about care. It was all about caring about the people. So also we, as a Psyclean Crew, started to have our project set up differently. We started to care more about our volunteers. This is a big error actually with volunteer projects, that there is not enough care for the people who are actually working 5-10 hours a day for free, not completely for free, but without payment, in rain and dust and smell and dirt. And I mean, it's hard, okay? We do waste management. It's not easy. So we understood that if we care for our volunteers, then the volunteers can care for the audience. And if we care for the audience, maybe the audience can care for each other. And this is what we started to do. And the last 3 years have been truly magical. I mean, things happened, you have no idea. We briefed the volunteers. We started a concept of care from the volunteers to the audience. So first what we had to do is maintain our volunteers. Now, how to do this? Now, let's buy a 100 square meter community tent with tea kitchen, dry sitting places, lights, organize our own toilet into the camp, make them feel important, make them feel loved, make them feel as part of this festival. Because if they're part of this festival, if they co-create the festival, then they will own the festival. And if you own it, then you want to keep it nice, then you want to keep it proper, then you want to keep it usable. And this we would like to transfer to the people. So when the volunteers go out of the camp and they're happy and they are well fed and they're warm and they're dry and they're appreciated, then it was very easy to ask them to go on to the people and tell them in the most nicest of ways how it is good for them not to litter. If there is somebody smoking a cigarette and you see that it's only 2 drags left, hey, stay there. Just linger. Let's see what he does with that cigarette butt. And if he's throwing it on the ground, step up, go there, be nice, be happy, be friendly, but have a pocket ashtray and give it and smile to it and tell them, dude, I understand that it's all trashy, but trash is made by individuals. This is a very important thing that I always tell the volunteers, that there is no such a thing as a group. Groups are an illusion. Groups are a multitude of individuals and nothing else. Yeah, but everybody does it. There is no everybody. There is a lot of single individuals who do something. There is no groups exist in this world. This is just something that we use to have a short word, and so we don't have to say always many individuals. So we say group, but it's still made up out of single people. Every cigarette butt goes to the ground in a singular, okay? Nobody goes there and throws like a mass of cigarette butts on the ground or just empties their trash bag on the stage. It doesn't happen. One person throws one thing and then another person throws one thing. So if you would talk to everybody individually, maybe, just maybe, we could actually achieve something. So this is what we told the volunteers, and this is what we would try, and this is how we, from now on, would push forward. And I'm telling you, true magic has started to happen. We had little stickers, we print little stickers, we have a lot of them, and it says, it's your lucky day. What do we do with these stickers? We put them on found stuff. We have a very strong lost and found policy. Okay, we always say everything with a name on it goes into the lost and found. What do I mean by that? I mean by that everything that can be described by the owner to the lady in the lost and found in any way, we give into the lost and found, and everything that is so generic that it cannot be described by the person who lost it, let's say a 50 euro bill, a 1 euro coin, a pack of cigarettes. I mean, you cannot go to lost and found and say, hey, I lost this piece of paper, it had a 5 and a 0 on it, and it's kind of worth 50 euros. No, like, sure, if there's loose money on the ground, it's yours. But I even told the volunteers, try to give that back as well. Did you find it next to a person? Then put it behind your back and ask the person, did you lose some money? Now, of course, they will say yes. Okay, what did you lose? How much money did you lose? And if they know, and many times they know, many times like, fuck, my 50 euros. Here it is. And please don't litter. Here's a pocket ashtray with it. It has an enormous effect. And sorry, let's be honest, we are in Western Europe. You don't need the stuff of other people. You don't need the half a pack of cigarettes of the other guy. You don't need the 10 euros that somebody just dropped right next to them. Give it back. Give it back, and there will be so much more that you will buy for those 10 euros and if you put it in your pockets. And the volunteers loved it. Hey, the volunteers really loved it. They were like, I mean, to not compromise on something that you really like to do, it was a revelation for them, because everybody always compromises. Everybody wants to be lazy. Everybody wants to be comfortable. And I told them, no, we're not comfortable, man. I'm not going to torture you, but hey, no, like comfort is a thing that is sometimes achieved and sometimes not. And now we're working, so we won't be comfortable, and then you'll finish work, and then you can be comfortable, but otherwise, no. And we have to tell the same thing to the people on the dance floor. You can be comfortable 99% of your time, but when your beer is empty, yeah, then do the discomfort of 2 seconds of walk to the bin, because, I mean, honestly, why do we go to festivals? We want to be accepted. We're looking for communion. We're looking for magic. But how do you want to have connection and acceptance on a festival where you're dancing around stuff that nobody wants? How do you want to be wanted if everything around you is something that somebody don't want? And if you cannot pick up a piece of trash after somebody else, or if we just cannot even keep the dance floor clean for ourselves, not to speak of other people, how do you want to achieve communion? I mean, we do have to work together on some degree. I understand that you don't have to clean up the whole place. I understand that you don't have to restock the bar because you're a visitor. But there is, and we call it basic responsibilities, that people have to just do. And there is no way of skipping on that. Because if we do, not only the festival is ruined, but society is ruined. There is certain basic duties we have to do. And once you explain this, once there is somebody who talks about this, once there is a few cute people who come to you and tell this to you, and they're friendly and they're smiling, they're not coming to indoctrinate you, you know, they're not telling you what to do, or you litter and he goes there, you asshole, you litter, like you're a bad person. Oh my God, never ever. That doesn't work. I mean, remember your parents when they said no, you said, oh yes. I mean, we're all here on the festivals. Obviously, we didn't listen to them. No, positive reassurance. I always told the volunteers as well. You see somebody using the bin? Go and clap. Go and clap. Hey, I saw 3 volunteers doing a dance for people who emptied their ashtray into the bin. I mean, it's so cute. It's so cute. It's an extra part of fun. And all of a sudden you have this positive reassurance. Hey, if I do something good, people will like me. Oh, wow, that's actually why I came here for, because I wanted people to like me. And now I'm just, wow, I'm on a festival, yay. And I told the volunteers also, be nice. And then I'm standing in the shadows. Sometimes I'm standing in the shadows. Yeah, I do. Not in this shirt, but in preferably a black one. And I do spy on my volunteers. That's true. Yes, I do. And I want to see how they work when I'm not looking at, and when I'm not right there next to them. And I see a volunteer finding a wallet. I saw him actually finding the wallet. So I was right there when he did. And he couldn't see me. I was close enough, but he couldn't see me. And he was like, "Wow, wallet!" And he opens it up, and I see like dang, 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 the bills. Like it was a lot of bills. And as he turned it into the light, I see it's 50 euro bills. There was over 200 euros in that purse, And he's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" Closes the purse, looks in his pocket, finds a sticker. And I see him taking this "It's a Lucky Day" sticker and sliding it in between the two or three 50 euro bills, closing it down, looking up, showing his hand to his manager, holding up the wallet to show that he has to go to Lost and Found now. Manager says, "Okay." And the guy was off to Lost and Found. I mean, imagine the person who lost 200 euros, opens it up, and there's a sticker, "It's a Lucky Day." Others, I told them to do this actually, it's not my idea, but they should do this. On some phones, you have if the phone is locked, you still have the opportunity to make a picture, to activate the camera. I always tell the volunteers, make a selfie. If you find the phone, put the sticker, make a selfie, and then hand it in, and then they will look it up at some point. The festival police office is like these two crazy cycling people, and you went to the Lost and Found, and you had your phone back, and cycling was somehow involved. So along these lines, we started to establish a way to communicate with the festival audience and to bind our agenda of a clean festival to the concept of care, to really care for people so that people could care for each other, so we all care for this wonderland that we have created. Because again, I come from the psytrance scene, okay? Like we have very elaborate decorations, we have little forests with UV lit up paintings, and it's like really a magical wonderland, Like it can be really trashed in a second by garbage thrown into that. And make no mistake, for us, garbage and waste is all kinds of waste. Like Psyclean also fights hard against pee in the bushes, okay? We are really against that too, because as I said, the critical mass of Europe has actually agreed to put all of your waste, doesn't matter if it comes from your hand or your body, into a specific place. You cannot just scatter it somewhere around where people are. It's just not okay. And especially, there's been festivals where we had, 7 or 8 130-liter bags only with tissues from the forest, many of them wet wipes, which never decompose. It's just not okay. It's really not okay. And if you would ask anybody, do you want to dance on garbage? Do you want the forest to look like that? Is that really what you want? They will say, "No, I really don't, and I never litter." If you ask anybody on the festival if they ever littered, they will all tell you they didn't. And actually, that's not even a lie, because they consciously didn't. There is very few people on this planet who want the cigarette butt on the ground. There's very few people who want the tissue in the forest. It's a disconscious act. Littering is a disconscious act because you don't want the result actually. You just want the comfort of not having to take care of your garbage, and that's why you let go of it. But you don't really want the consequence to happen, so it's actually messing with your head, because the consequence is something you don't want, the action is something that you do want, and in the end, you don't feel good about yourself. But we want you to feel good about yourself. Our team is all about festival visitors feeling good about themselves and being happy and being connected and finding ways how to be together in nature, be together on a festival, be together in all kinds of states of mind and really come together as people. But if they all feel this little cluck in them that they're doing wrong all the time, in your subconscious it will have a mark, okay? I know that maybe if the moment you litter you don't feel it, but it's there. Like, I have a master's in linguistics, psycholinguistics. I read many works of psychology, philosophy. Ola did the same. Like, we researched this really well, and it's really not good for the psyche. So you come here to do something good for your psyche, and then actually you're doing something that's not good for your psyche. And we go back to the question, what if they don't know any better? They don't. People don't. We don't talk about this. We never talk about this. Like in school, somebody tells you, hey, please don't litter. And your parents tell you, hey, please don't throw that away. Oh, come on, that's not talking. That's not emphasizing. Nobody's telling you that we as a whole society don't want to do this. There's individuals telling you, I don't want you to do that, but that doesn't help. We all have to come together and be like, hey, we all actually don't want to do this. So we apply this in many ways. We apply this really by going up to people who litter. We apply this with presence. Volunteers would come to me and say, hey, I'm done. You're done with what? Yeah, it's all clean. Dude, you have 2 more hours. Yeah, I know, that's why I come to us, because there's really nothing to do. I'm like, good. You see there, this pole, where it's always dirty? Go there, dance. What do you mean dance? I mean, put down your picker, put down your trash bag, stand next to that pole where people always throw the garbage, and have fun. I will want to see that person who is littering under your feet while you're dancing there. Come on, show me, really. We do this a lot. Presence is a big thing. This t-shirt is here for a reason. Of course, sometimes we have to clean around people's bags, so it's good that that you see that we belong to the festival, but it's also a beacon that there is somebody who cares. There is this person who cares. And finally he has 5 minutes off because really he did a good job, and now you want to go there and throw garbage at his feet? It did never happen. It never happened. Whenever we did this presence kind of thing, it always worked. As long as a Psyclean Crew member in the day, in the night it's a bit complicated, but in the day, if he's standing there, he has a 3-meter radius where there's definitely no trash landing on the ground. Now let's just position a few tactical Psycleaners around the poles and you have a clean dance floor. Because it's the idea is also a little bit coming from India. And I don't know if you know the sadhus in India, it's like also orange. It's not why we chose the orange, but also why we chose the orange. Like it's orange babas, big beard, smoking hash, and they sit in the big intersections in the city and they meditate. And that's what they do all day. They sit and meditate. And then, like, what do they eat? What do they drink? Where do they live? Like, if you meditate in an intersection all day, how can you get money? So we asked, and turns out they are financed by the government. The government pays their clothing, their food, their shelter, funny enough, even their hush. So why would the government do that? Because the government wants living reminders of religion. So when you are in your buzz in the city during the day and you pass such a sadhu, then you're like, oh yeah, wow, I should pray today. Or wow, yeah, oh, religion. Oh yeah, there is God. They're living statues, living reminders that there is a God, okay? And not my cup of tea, but anyway, that's what they do. That's what we do. Living reminders of the fact that we want a clean festival. Because after one day, you see, we work 20 hours a day with 10, 15 people shifts. So, if you have been on the festival, you saw us pretty quickly. And if you just stand there, sometimes it's already enough. On festivals where we are the first year, no. But on festivals we are the third year, let's say, people know us, it's enough if we stand there. Oh, I have seen so many people like, no, and then turning to the bin, or just a cigarette butt, just like, oh, okay, no, you pocket ashtray, yeah, I saw you, yeah, it's all good. It's magic, because then again, when this happened, then the volunteers would clap and everybody would be happy, and he would be proud of himself because I didn't litter. It was my idea not to litter. It was almost your idea not to litter. Doesn't matter. The effect was the same. You didn't litter. You were happy instead of sad. We didn't have to work. It's perfectly fine. Like that's really just how we want this to happen. And I think that this is something that that will really be must be part actually of the future of festivals, because this is an ingredient that is missing. And this is also why I'm very grateful to be here. I think this is a unique chance for our project to really contribute to all festivals, because the summer has only that many weekends, we can only be at that many places. We can support 8, 10, 12 festivals per season. There is 3, 4, 5,000 in Europe alone. We need this to get out there. And let's be honest, the hardest team on every festival is the eco team. The team that usually doesn't really work is the eco team. The team that loses the most volunteers during an event is the eco team. Why? Because it's basically the hardest job during the festival. Not before, not after. Okay, after camping, whoa, okay, that's like a big deal. But during the festival, to find all pieces of garbage, to interact with the community of a festival, to keep a coherent team that really is going into the bush for that bottle, who is really going pick up the pee-pee papers, you know. You have to love the people, and the people have to care. We cannot just say, hey, you're a volunteer, you get a free ticket, here's the info point, there you can get your shift, and then you can put your tent there, ciao. Oh yeah, here 2 food coupons. Sorry, I don't care. Nobody cares. You're not part of anything. You want to make a festival? Let the people be part of it. Give them something. Show them the love. Because this eco team actually has to show this love to the festival visitors. They are one of the teams that is closest to the visitors, okay? We need this. And hey, we have been fixing fences, we have been fixing cables, we have been informing security. We do so many different things because you care. And care is magical, you know, care is always growing. Once you plant the seed, it's always growing. So in general, I'm really happy that I had the chance to introduce our project to the world, to all of you festival organizers and all of you festival visitors. And I really hope that you like it, and I really hope that I see you all next season. But what is more important to me is to give this idea to all of you, that if we do something, even if it's garbage, we have to put love and we have to put care into the mission and into the people behind the mission, to care for each other, to appreciate each other in full. And then the task that has to be done, no matter how hard, it will be easy, it will be fun. Look at us, whatever we do, we always do it with a smile. Thank you.